Hello, everyone. Have you had trouble dealing with your pesky demon guard dogs? Rocks that somehow happen to have crystals in them? Or just that goth chick that knows how to read a bit too much? Oh, and may I forget the Midwestern lady, who's an office lady, but a demon and a bird, and eating the burgers. Okay, you can see my bias with which one I described a bit more. But today, we're going to give you an all comprehensive guide on how to defeat all of Advent or get your money back, which is nothing. So you ain't getting nothing if it doesn't work. And if you're Hololive Justice watching this for some reason, this may be a bit of a good guide or something. I moved the mic while saying that, so my voice may sound a little funny there, which is funny. But let's see what we can do here today. I say we start with a simpler one, aka Fuwamoko, or in this case, oh yeah, it is Fuwamoko. I put them correctly. Hooray! But listen, they were just jailed for being annoying. They're probably just regular dogs with superpowers, or whatever it is they got down there. They're demon guard dogs, you know. So maybe they got resistance to the most deadly thing that dogs known to man, chocolate. So in our case, you're gonna need some Panel de Pawn rings, or de Pawn rings, aka the ones they give you at Mr. Donuts, or just chocolate donuts in general. Maybe they'll just eat those things up like crazy. And that is how you will get Fuwamoko. But be careful, they might have built up a resistance to chocolate. Another thing is to get them in a loop saying, "What? Hi?" You know, that thing they say all the time. I don't know which clips to use, because let's face it, they're probably already in that loop, so you can just go in for the kill, or just feed them chocolate and get them paralyzed for life, and then boom, you already got 2 out of 5 Advent members done and dealt with. Probably the easier ones too, but as we get on this list, it's gonna get either harder or
I'm gonna be hard! Yeah, I'm so hard.
or weirder, or more resource heavy. And if Justice is watching this, like I said, just do the same thing. Just give them the chocolate. Heck, you can modify Cecilia, have like a chocolate fountain or something. I don't know. I don't know how the technical things work in there, so, you know, maybe. Maybe a chocolate fountain operated by a violin. Now that would be dope. Now, I cannot be epic for this one, but I just want you to imagine. Yeah, you get what I mean, right? Because I don't want that copyright. It's the one and only egg. Is it Bibu or Bijo? I've forgotten at this point, and I think Advent refers to it as Bibu now too, instead of Bijo. So let's just see how we can take care of this rock. It's gonna be a
I'm gonna be hard! Yeah, I'm so hard.
yeah, one of those things. Now, just like her object's sake or species' sake or whatever she is, right? You need a good weapon for that. The big recommendation is the pickaxe, but according to these games, swords beat axes, and she's got a sword, and the pickaxe is a type of axe, so you can't really count on that. So what can we do? If you want to deal with Bibu, you gotta crack her mentally, and this is how you do it. Listen. Sure, she's the skibbity brain rot of the Hololive, right? But so can GiGi, but she's more of a freak, so let's get out of there for a second. But the thing you want to do is you want to out-brain rot the brain rot. And as she gets older, she gets weaker with that. What will depend on this victory on how to defeat Bibu with the brain rot will depend on your mental stability to take on all of that brain rot and all those memes and whatnot. You might want to use some of the older things so she gets confused. Maybe this will open up a stun lock for you to go crazy on the combos. And then the DMC player is going to get DMC'd on. And boom, there you go. Another Advent member taken care of. Easy. You ain't never seen anything like it. But however, that does rely on your mental strength for all of these things. If not, then this guide ain't for you. Or get good with a pickaxe, good enough that her sword won't be able to touch her, and since pickaxes are used for mining, you're gonna mine the stones out of her head so she can't emotionally control you, like her powers are emotions and all that. Which makes sense with the brain rot. It'll turn you from happy to sad, depressed, and eventually to the dark side of the Sith, of the Force, Damn, I guess I am getting a little brain rotted now. Maybe Advent's looking at this guide too and they don't want it to get out. Oh dear, I gotta get out of here. But I can't run just yet. Because of the Sith that is possibly in Hololive, there's Shiori. Now how do we take on possibly the most broken member of all of Hololive? And don't say crony because of time powers, because she already says she has all the knowledge possible, so she's probably got a counter to that too, so she is the strongest Hololive member. But however, she's not without the weak points though, and she knows this, which is why this video is a bit of a danger to get out. Before we even go into Shiori's weaknesses, I have to ask the many of you Hololive fans before the chair starts squeaking, do any of you know what the Fire Emblem is? Or maybe the Search for Say-So Holo Emblem, the Fire Emblem 8 ROM hack with Hololive and all that? If you don't know, that's fine, but there is one thing you should pay attention to, and it's Dimitri Fire Emblem. I forgot his last name. Oh wait, Alexander Blayford. Yeah, I don't know how this happened, but what you gotta do, right, is just overload her with information, right? The typical Fire Emblem discussion can go on to like an hour talking about what a unit can do, can't do, if they got something to do, because actually I won't describe it because then I'm going to Fire Emblem territory. You guys want to know how to defeat Shiori. Just overstimulate her with strategies of how to make Dimitri OP, or how he's probably not that great, even though he's one of the best units in his game. Basically, if Shiori's an encyclopedia of knowledge, always looking for more, right? So she can drive her stronger, because she's not human. What if, hear me out, you overload that brain of hers with information, just like Goku overloaded Cooler in his second movie, right? With Super Saiyan energy and all that. Basically, Shiori is like a container of knowledge. And there's a lot of it. But there's only so much she can handle at the time. Basically, Bibu has to crack, but Shiori has to explode. And boom. There you go. There's one way to defeat Shiori. The other one, look, I'm not going to say anything. Maybe Shiori physically is pretty good and she would kick everyone's asses in Hololive, but what if she wasn't? Because what if she's not that great at combat, but due to her knowledge of the things, she knows how to counteract these many things? So, what if, just what if, hear me out, you fight her like a crazed lunatic, and there you go, there's another way to beat Shiori. But she would see you coming there, so the first thing you do gotta do is as if you're gonna do the first plan, but then transition into the second. Or just stick with the first plan, honestly. It's a pretty good one to beat Shiori, if I may say so myself. But, yeah. Just make sure Shiori's mind explodes, but Bibu's has to crack. That's the differentiating factor here. Now keep that in mind, or then it'll be a, not so good defeat for you. You might turn into into a book holder or something. I don't know. A bookmark? Yeah, a bookmark. Essentially, Bibu and Shiori are a similar battle of wits, whereas Bibu is more so you gotta get her to crack, and like I said before, Shiori is to explode. But there is one little difference here. With Bibu, you cannot take the fight physically, whereas for Shiori, you can. So keep that in mind. And not too physically, she's got knowledge of everything, but, maybe you can do something there. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. Make her blind or something. Remove the zinc from her body. I don't know. I don't know if she's even human. She does say that she isn't human in the lore, so, how about we just go to the other non-human of the group to finish up the video? Ouch! Looks like I had forgotten to mention one crucial thing you can use against Shiori, and that is you can play a game of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate against her, or maybe, just maybe, other platform fighters too. Maybe a little bit of Project Plus. Okay, but I'm getting off track. Let's put back the Smash Ultimate on the picture. There we go. Yeah, maybe you can beat her there, but I don't think they'll get rid of Shiori per se, but hey, it's another option of quote-unquote defeating Shiori that you can use. So please use this information very carefully, or ignore this part. Presenting the final member for this video, Nerissa Ravencroft. Why is she the last one exactly? Shouldn't it be Shiori? Nah, man, it's fine. You wanna know why? Because Nerissa has a lot of ways to take her out, even some that I don't know. Let's explore some of them, shall we? Or in this case, see how quote-unquote free the strongest member of her life possibly, because, you know, broken horn moment. So maybe if she had the horn, she'd be a lot stronger. But by this, I mean, she's got so many Achilles heels. I don't know, Nerissa. I don't know about that. Let's just get on in here. I'm surprised Justice hasn't caught her already. Obviously, the easiest method here is the hamburger method, but I'm just showing a Krabby Patty as an example. You can use Culver's or any other American type of burger, specifically American, and SpongeBob SquarePants is an American show, so you can probably base your burger off the Krabby Patty and it still work. And I don't know, maybe if you end up making it good enough, Nerissa will do your own bidding, and you can just do the free errand moment and tell her to off herself or something. I don't know. But that's only one of the many methods to use against Nerissa. Other things such as include, like, oh, maybe matching her singing. You're not gonna do that. Or maybe out-freaking her. You could do that, but then you look at like a degenerate. And that's not good for a jailbird. Or is it accurate for a jailbird? I don't know. Because Nerissa has to be the freaky one. I don't know, man. I don't know. But another one that you can realistically do, right? Easy. Have her in a room with a bunch of cute girls. She won't know what to do. She'll probably explode on sight. Which in that case, make sure, right? Make sure the walls are covered in like the shower curtain type of material or plastic, right? So you can observe her powers and absolve them into yourself or something. Basically stealing her powers to take care of the rest of Advent or something like that. But it probably wouldn't be too much because remember, her horn's still missing. But that's something you could do with one of the methods. But this last one probably doesn't apply to you. Maybe I can put a timestamp to skip to the next one, but I'm not gonna do that. Or maybe I did, and I'm just letting you guys know the answer to that on the screen. Because the next part is exclusive to one person and one person only. I hope you're ready for this one. Before we continue with the Nerissa segment, I just want to say Hololive Justice had their 3D showcase at the time of this recording. So any information might change for some of the Hololive admin members if any relevant information showed up there or something that can be used. Either way, let's just continue on before we make this video a little bit longer than, it's more digestible. Now for this part of the video, you will all have to pay close attention because it's really Bloodraven focused. Yes, Liz. Yes. Just like that. I'll be throwing some information at you right now, or maybe this can be representative of you guys throwing me out. It's still relevant to the video because she already plays Super Smash Bros. But Liz, you gotta realize that this is probably the best way you're going to beat Nerissa. This will be your destiny if you follow this part of the guide. But it will also be Nerissa's destiny, because maybe this will be recycled in the How to Beat Hololive Justice guide for Advent. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just saying. So, Liz, you have nothing to worry about as long as you don't follow this part of the guide. But if you do, just remember, it'll be just like what was shown in the GiGi 3D showcase. That'll be your crazy life with Nerissa right there. Or maybe not, because Nerissa's a bit of a wet cat. Yeah, maybe not so much. But listen. Just think about it. Just really, really think about it. It's a good plan. Really good. And Nerissa agrees, because that's how she looks at Liz all the time. And even if Liz does a bad joke, she's never going to do a bad joke. She's still going to point, laugh, and have some fun. But I'm just saying, if this plan happens, I think we achieve world peace, because there's no Justice versus Advent. It just becomes, which of the two wants to be sub-domed, or, I don't know. Maybe there's some top security here? I don't know. I might be yapping. I probably yapped about that for a bit too long, so enjoy this piece of artwork by C. Popo before we go to the final stretch of this video. And if Liz ever wants to recreate the picture of Nerissa or vice versa, then I'm waiting for that Nerissa-Liz 3D collab. Yeah. Now that all of that is taken care of, right? Sorry for yelling, but I needed to specify that. You may use these techniques or guide, quote-unquote, to defeat Advent, but let's be honest, you're never gonna defeat Advent. Because they're cool people. Why would you want to defeat them or get rid of them? They cool. Unless they fully turn evil. Then yeah, use this, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, I hope this brings you good tidings in defeating Advent or Advent-adjacent evil people. Like, what if you see an evil rock on the street?
I'm gonna be hard! Yeah, I'm so hard.
Yeah, you could use the Bibu guide. Oh, well, it all ends well, you know. Well, except for Liz if she follows this particular guide specifically on Nerissa. But she can leave the job for the rest of Justice. I mean, GiGi 3D is evidence of that already, but, you know, do what you will with that Hololive Justice if you're watching this guide. Or if you're just a regular Hololive fan watching this, or if you're a Chatino, or Tomo, Rosarian, or Grem, then use this guide to help your Oshis catch these criminal scum in the act, or not in the act, just bringing them to justice in general. Or they will pose a threat to our very existence. Mainly just Shiori, because she's a Sith, I swear. Yeah. Thank you for seeing the guide all the way through and to the end of this whole shebang. I hope you had a good time watching this, or if you're driving or doing something else, because you're probably doing something else watching this, I don't know. But if you are watching the images, thank you. If not, then I'm glad you liked the audio, and at least learned something from all of this. But hey, remember, this guide can also be used for anything Advent does, not just for the crazy disaster emergencies. And if Justice is using this, make sure the Liz plan goes into motion, because I'm also a Bloodraven fan, and I want to see that thing happen. In that case, bye-bye!